Trevoh Chalobah would be perfect for Wolves this summer. In this video, I'll be explaining why he'd be the ideal man for Wolves to bring in, why ex-Premier League and now League One fullback Alfie Doherty, remember him? Why he'd be excellent value at left wing-back, and which Premier League playing, European Cup winning centre midfielder could really bolster your depth in midfield. I'm PMFC Miles, let's talk Wolves. Personally, I think this season could be amazing for Wolves. Since Ferreira's come in, they've been a different team. Agbadou was a phenomenal sign and he looks like a masterstroke. But I do think that realistically, if they don't build on that now, then all that's going to happen is they're just going to slip back down. I think the first place you can improve would be centre-back. Like I said, Agbadou, no notes, brilliant. Tosi Gomez, I like him. I think he's very good at what he does. But on the right side, Doherty, look, he's good. He's had a good career, but he's 33 now. And realistically, if the club wants to move forward, now's the time you need to be improving on those players. He's only got a year left on his contract. Let him feature, not be a main feature. Do you get? Now, personally, I don't think there's a better option for that right-sided centre-back role than Trevoh Chalobah. He played there for Palace last season when he was on loan. Looked phenomenal. He got called back into the Chelsea squad. And yet, even though he's been one of their better centre-backs, apparently they're still potentially open to letting him go. The fact Pereira likes his team to break quickly in transition, regardless of who or what position the player plays, will make him perfect for their system, as he's proven time and time again that he can transition his team from defence to attack from the centre-back role. He's in the top 9% for carries into the penalty area from centre-backs in Europe's top 5 leagues. And as you can see, his goal and assist contributions are up there with some of the best in Europe. He's in the top 23% for through balls from centre-backs in Europe's top 5 leagues and averages over 1 shot creating action per 90. It's almost like he's perfectly moulded to play in Vitor Pereira's system. Why Chelsea would want to let him go, I'll be honest, I don't get it. But obviously, if you go in funds over talent, then yeah, somehow it makes sense. If that then means that there's an option to, I don't know, either pay for him or ideally get him on a loan with an option or an obligation, then Wolves need to be snatching that. Staying with the back line, Ryan Aït-Nouri. Obviously, he's gone. Wolves fans, I know you'll miss him. Trying to get someone that can bring that level of creation, his driving, his passing, for less than, 40-50 million euros, I'll be honest, I don't think it's possible. Especially that left wing-back role, it's a tough one to fill. But if you can get someone who can maybe offer some of what he has the ability to do, and who, if, you gave him the opportunity to play on a bigger stage, could step up, I think you have to snatch it. Alfie Doherty. So, firstly, look, I know realistically you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? Please let me convince you. Just hear me out. If at the end of it you still think, you know what, it's waffle, then fair enough. But if I've convinced you even this much, just a little bit, you have to like and comment. I know that's a bit beggy, but at least subscribe or something. Wolves love a transition, and in order to capitalise on that, you need a player who can make the most out of those situations. Someone who can carry the ball into the final third or into the penalty area. Someone who can play an early ball into dangerous positions with either long balls or early crosses for the 10s or the 9s to get onto. Someone who can switch the ball into spaces, create shooting opportunities, win the ball back comfortably deep in the middle third or higher up the pitch. Can intercept, can block, can recover the ball. Alfie Doherty can do all of those things. Every single one of them. Right, so, if you don't believe me, then we'll do a little exercise. I don't know why there's a skip there. Threw me off. Right, if you don't believe me, let's do a little exercise. We'll compare his numbers last season in the Championship when Luton got relegated. We'll compare his numbers the season before that when they were in the Premier League. And we'll compare Aït-Nouri's numbers for the last 365 days. He averaged 2.74 key passes, 2.3 passes into the penalty area, and 1.19 crosses into the penalty area last year. The year before that, Premier League season, he averaged 2.15 key passes, 1.32 passes into the penalty area, and 0.74 crosses into the penalty area per 90. Aït-Nouri returned less than that in all of those metrics. But look, the different types of players. Aït-Nouri drives with the ball, creates opportunities that way, not so much crosses. So if you compare their dribbling numbers, Aït-Nouri made 2.58 progressive carries, 1.79 carries into the final third, and 0.81 carries into the penalty area per 90 last year. Doherty was pretty comparable. Obviously, Aït-Nouri was better than him in some metrics, but all in all, they're pretty comparable players. And I do think that Doherty offers a lot at left wing back. Look, the game's not played on paper, obviously. And if you cast your mind back to do the eye test, when Doherty was in the Premier League, he looked pretty good. Did I convince you? Obviously, let me know in the comments. All right, so last transfer, Andre and Gomez, phenomenal, right? Genuinely, I think as a midfield partnership, Wolves consider yourselves very, very lucky. I do think that, unfortunately, they are going to be so good next season that a lot of Europe's elite teams will start to sniff about. But let's not talk about that. I'm not trying to sell you players. If you were to lose either of them to injury, suspension, whatever it may be, the level of depth in your squad is not good enough. So realistically, the next signing that I think you need to be looking at is someone who can offer you movement, legs, running in the middle of the park, tackling, passing, just someone who's solid. And for me, that player would be Yves Bissouma. Spurs picked him up for 30 mil about 4 or 5 years ago. Now, he's only got a year left in his contract. He's 28 years old. If you can pick him up for anywhere between 20 and 25, it's a steal. In the midfield, he will be everywhere, and I'd imagine he's horrible to play against. He's not going to, redefine the way that Wolves attack or, break the lines with his passes. No, but he'll do the simple things, and he'll do the simple things right. His defensive numbers are standout. In the top 10% for tackles won, tackles in the middle third, and tackles in the defensive third for midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues. He averaged 4.48 tackles and interceptions per 90 and 6.57 ball recoveries per 90 last year. But don't forget to like and subscribe. I've been PMFC Miles. Thanks for locking in.